Hi, I'm Ellie,
Hi, I'm Coma.
and we're on Trade with Ellie. So I made a video previously talking about COVID and traveling during COVID, right? Should you be traveling during COVID? A lot of people have been asking us because Coma, my sister, is my official travel buddy, and we do a number of travels together. And this year we had to unfortunately cancel some amazing trips. And so we've been asked a lot, should we be traveling? But however, I wanted you to hear her standpoint about this, considering one, you got to travel before coronavirus really hit the streets in New York for us here, and also because of your knowledge and background. So can you just tell us a little bit about when you really heard about coronavirus and the trip that you took on?
Sure. So I first heard about coronavirus, I would say in late December, early January. And I was planning my birthday, to celebrate my birthday in Cartagena at the end of January. At the end of January. Why am I forgetting my own birthday? And so I had gone with one of my friends, and so we both work in public health. So we were kind of already following coronavirus in China and Europe at the time, and so we knew that it would eventually make its way to the US if it hadn't already. And so we were trying to take the necessary precautions, since we would still be traveling and we would be going to JFK too, which is a huge international airport, and so we'd be exposed to so many different people flying in and out of so many different countries. And so we wore a mask the whole entire time we were in the airport, and people were just like looking at us like, "Baby girl, why do you have a mask on?"
So you guys were the only two at the airport wearing a mask?
I only recall seeing maybe one other person, and I think it was a flight attendant who was wearing a mask, if I'm not mistaken. And other than that, we were the only ones, and a few people had asked us why we were wearing masks, and we were like, coronavirus. And so some people were just like, "Oh, like, you're taking precautions," and we're like, yeah.
So at this time, was coronavirus really on the news, and were they talking about it?
It was happening outside of the US, but it wasn't, we wasn't really in our local news. And we hadn't had our first case yet. Our patient zero was, I want to say, in March. Our first patient zero, and then we went into lockdown in or shelter in place in mid-March. And so it was really, we were glad that we took the precautions that we did. We wanted, and those are precautions that everyone should continue to take if they choose to travel now.
That's definitely really true. So now that, a lot of people are aware of COVID and some people are choosing to practice distance or not, I know, people are still looking for places to travel. So, some places do have that quarantine, 14-day quarantine before you go and come back. However, we've been seeing that a lot of people haven't been actually following that. And what are your thoughts on that?
Your priorities is to protect yourself and the people around you. So if you are going to be going to places that have a quarantine in place, some states have a mandate currently, so you should be quarantining or sheltering in place for 14 days, and then resuming activities. And so you should follow those, because there's fines and violations for that, even jail time, Hawaii being one of them that's really enforcing that mandate. And you at the same time, you're putting other people at risk by going to places that have high incidences, high rates of transmission, and people are getting sick. And so you want to be able to really protect everyone in the case. This is not, it's a global pandemic that's happening, and so everyone should be doing their part in really helping to flatten the curve.
And that's really true, because it's unfortunate to really hear on the news the amount of people, especially in Hawaii, who have not just been fined but jailed, even large groups of people for not following this mandate. And a lot of people said they didn't really believe that Hawaii was going to enforce it. And it's just crazy. I think, it's not hitting home for a lot of people that people are literally dying out here, and that this is something serious and something we should all be following, whether we're traveling or not. So for those asking, when are we going to be traveling next? I know we've been getting that question a lot as far as our abroad, really big travels.
We will be staying pretty much in the continental US for some time. For sure. Or at least, yeah. We're road tripping more these days, going more local. If you're, and that's probably one of the safest routes of transportation if you're going to be in your own vehicle. I mean, if you're going to get on a plane, a bus, or a train, try to practice social distancing, have your masks at all times, sanitize your area, make sure you're mindful to wash your hands when you get off of get off the plane, the train, or the bus, things of that sort. Have your hand sanitizer on hand, and just continue to practice social distancing.
Thank you. I think that says it all. So for those of you still asking if we're going to be moving around, we will, but on a much smaller scale, and a lot different pace. And for those of you who are looking to travel and, you know, want to go about to either countries that are allowing you in or just locally, you know, make sure you're taking proper precaution. But I want to thank you, Koma, for sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience. I appreciate this. She is my health expert. I ask her for all updates and information. And so, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, right? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
She's Trade with Ellie.